Now a total of 24 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country. The health department says 8 cases have been confirmed since its last briefing. That was yesterday. The quarantine site in Polokwane has been prepared for the arrival of 122 South Africans returning from China. The SANDF and police are on site to make sure no unauthorized persons enter the premises. Let me take you live now to ENCA's Siphamandla Goke, who joins me from the outside the quarantine site in Polokwane. And Siphamandla, we've been getting a bit more detail. Let's start with the latest figures coming from the Minister of Health. We now stand at a total of 24 confirmed cases in the country. What are the details?
All those are outside sources, or they are from outside sources. So four are in Gauteng, 2 are in KwaZulu-Natal, 2 are in the Western Cape. They include the number of countries, including Greece, Austria, Italy, and Switzerland. So basically, those are the details. The minister said all those people, they traveled out of the country and they visited those countries that I've mentioned now. But let's listen to Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize explaining about those new cases.
Yesterday, we had announced 16 cases. Today, we're announcing 8. That makes it 24. So let's not have confusion. However, I have said, we are aware now that the additional cases which are positive, we will not reveal the numbers yet until they are verified. And I explained verification in terms of ensuring that positives are positives so that you don't end up with withdrawing any of them. So we're working on that. And secondly, we need to get the profiles so that when we report to you, you have a sense as to where the person came from. Is it male or female, and what's the age, and so on and so on. But the issue at the moment is 24 in total and 8 new as of today. Yesterday, the figure was 16. So we will then tomorrow at a later stage, give you the latest total. The numbers, the results come like every other hour, every minute. So we just wait for a particular time at which we just give you a batch and say this is where we are now. Even if we're aware that there's some other tests that are on the go, but we will just give you a number, and then once that is verified, we move to the next level.
So the minister, they're saying, Siphamandla, that the number will definitely rise from 24 because there are other people who've tested positive, but they are not able to give us the details and the numbers of those people at this particular point. But the reason you are there is that there are preparations for a batch of South Africans who are returning from Wuhan in China, which has been the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak. What are the details we're hearing this afternoon about the plans to bring back those South Africans?
Before I answer that one, let me tell you that the minister says they are unable to give us the consolidated figures for now, but definitely confirming that the number will increase or the cases will increase. They are consolidating those figures. They would report back because they're trying to avoid what happened yesterday, whereby they confirmed a positive case and then later on it turned out that it was a negative case in the Free State. So they are trying to be very careful when they consolidate the numbers. They double check and triple check. So after they verified all of those, but they did confirm that yes, they are sitting with the cases or numbers of positive cases. They are busy triple checking those ones. Then they will update us later on. But let me tell you what is happening outside where we are. My colleague Bonga Mkhize will show you on my left there. You will see a police Inyala, if I'm not mistaken, but there is a heavy police presence here. This is the first layer of security. Now, this site that we are outside of is a very remote site, but it's very strategic in terms of ensuring that the team that will come back from Wuhan is quarantined in this site. It's in the middle of nowhere. According to Health Minister Dr. Zweli Mkhize, he said it was ideal because security, that's the police and the army, they will be able to control it. It's closer to the airport, about 35 minutes. That's where the team will land, and then the team will be brought here through a varied number of buses. So we expect them to land in the country. But the minister was non-committal in terms of the exact timeline. Remember, there were reports that they were going to arrive today. But those reports now we hear, according to the minister, he's not confirming whether they are arriving today or tomorrow, only saying they will let us know once they have arrived. only confirming that by the end of the weekend, that group from Wuhan, 121 of them, they would have arrived in the country. Let's listen to him.
In Wuhan, the arrangements on the ground have been made, so the team on the ground has actually pulled together all the South Africans, and they will be ready to process them and bring them in. And they will have been seen by the Chinese or officials, health authorities, and also our team will go in and look at if there's anyone that there would be any concerns about. So we just want to emphasize again that all the people who are coming back, they will have been screened so that there is none of them who's got any testing positive for the coronavirus, that also that have got no symptoms. They will also be coming here to be observed. During the process of observing them as they come over, there is also an isolation place inside the aircraft in case there is a problem. Even the arrangement of how they sit, they are pre-seated as usual in any aircraft, but in the process they are set in such a way that the families are sitting together, and that sitting arrangement is also structured here so that people don't get mixed up when they get here. Even when they get to the catering place, the dining hall, the tables are labeled in terms of family units, individual groups with a predetermined safe distance, so that we can reduce the mixing of all the people. The staff, the crew, everyone is going to be on a lockdown. They'll be part of the quarantine. But as we say, at the moment, all of the people are healthy and well. So that is the situation as it stands now. So as far as we're concerned, it's all systems go. We are not going to give you time of departure and arrival, because that is something that's being worked on based on the plan on the ground. Even if we give you any time, it will actually be misleading, because even they have to work on the basis of the conditions on the ground. So we're just happy to say that when they move from Manila, they will go to Wuhan, and from Wuhan they'll come back to South Africa. As to what time they land here, we can just guarantee you that before the weekend is over, they will have arrived.
So the plans are elaborate, Siphamandla, on the ground once they are here back in South Africa. I mean, the minister outlining the kind of isolation, systems, and sort of making sure that whatever risks are there are mitigated against as much as possible. But what about the aspect of the controversy, storm in a teacup, some would say, really, around that site being in Limpopo? Is the minister even entertaining this at all?
He did respond to those accusations by the locals here that they were not consulted. I mean, he was very honest and frank to say, listen, this is a military operation. Even us who are involved as the interministerial committee, we only got to know about the decision when the generals who were dispatched to look for a site came back and reported. They checked 84 sites across South Africa. That includes Vryheid in KwaZulu-Natal, another site in the Free State, the Northern Cape, and other provinces. But the main reason they chose this one, he said, it's simply because it's closer to the airport. We are talking about Polokwane Airport. It's about 35 minutes from here. And also it's got enough capacity in terms of rooms to cater for families, because out of this 121 group that will be coming back from Wuhan, about 18 of them, they are couples. So you need to put them in a setup that they were in Wuhan. And also you need single rooms for other people. So he says this site has got enough capacity in terms of room allocations, but also it's strategically located because even though it's in the middle of nowhere, quote unquote, they will not be in close contact with other community members here, but still you can easily access it, because in terms of the logistics and the plan, they will land at the Polokwane Airport, they will be driven to this site. They wanted a site which is not far from the airport to make sure that when the group lands, they are taken straight to this site. So that is the criteria that was used, and that is the criteria that the military personnel felt that this site meets all those criteria, and that's why they decided to go with this site. And he did allay those fears to say, listen, there is nothing wrong with the decision to put this group of South Africans here. They are not sick. They could have been sent anywhere in South Africa. It could have been the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Free State, or any other province.
Yeah. Siphamandla, thank you so much. We'll check in with you a bit later on. So there you have it, in case you are wondering why the choice there of that particular area in Polokwane, the strategic location thereof. And I can tell you, having stayed there previously, it really is isolated enough. And it does make sense, at least to me, if they manage it by way that they've said that they will manage this operation, that if you want to isolate people, that would be the site to do it.